Alright, my recap video that I wanted to take like 5 minutes totally ran like 15, so I was originally planning on 3 videos. I think I'm gonna like cut it down to 2. So, I basically told you, if you're just hopping in, the whole story, in a nutshell, in the video prior to. And where we sit right now are with the newest updates where I'm finally getting somebody to listen to me. We have a reporter from ABC who is contacted the Sedona PD, and she's got to remain unbiased. I totally get that. She's an outside person. She's doing her own investigation, which is why I'm continuing to document this. Like, I'm doing my investigation, she's doing an investigation. Like, more eyes on this, even better. Like, more eyes on the prize, baby. More eyes on the prize, right? So we've got that going, and initially yesterday I had heard that she had just gotten, left a message and sent a voicemail. Well, sometime in the afternoon, I did get a message back saying that she would get a mess, or to start, I should have printed it out. I came so unprepared. That to the effect that the sergeant that was in charge of the case, Sergeant Leon, would contact her, or her to contact the sergeant on Monday. Basically, it comes down to Monday. These two are going to touch base, right? I forget how it was worded specifically, precisely. But I was like, really? So if she's off on Thursday, the day that we make contact, okay, she's off day, so she can't like call my Ashley K back. You call her my reporter. She's not my reporter. This is her. She's doing her investigation. Whatever she writes, she writes. Like, I didn't contract this woman. She could find out that my mom did end up commuting, and that's be what she found out, and that could be the truth, and that just could all be in my head. But anyway, she's not my reporter. My point is, she called, and no answer. On Thursday, sure, I can understand. Maybe she's off. So are we saying, okay, all right, you don't have the benefit of the doubt. I'll give the cop today and tomorrow off, or yesterday and today off. But like, somehow she's got an email, like, or she's aware now that, I've got somebody looking into this case, because I warned this lady in this time last year when I requested the case file. I was like, I want the case file because I have somebody that wants to look into this. I think I told her about the film student. I think I called her a journalist. The journalist. I need to copy the case file for the journalist. And she sent me the link to the county clerk and didn't bring up the journalist. And she had to know I was going to send somebody sometime. So she should be prepared. But I'm guessing that she put my mom's case back on the shelf because she needs at least 3.5 days to prepare, it sounds like, before she's actually going to touch base with Ashley K. So I found that kind of interesting, and I wanted to put that out there for public knowledge. So I also, on my list, as I'm having my aha moments, as Ashley's having me like make my list of questions, like, I'm starting to eat alive this case file, right? I've read it already. I'm reading it aloud. I'm rereading it. But when you like go through it to try to find, like, do the timeline, and now we're like looking for inconsistencies, even more traumatic. But I'm finding them. I'm finding lots. Like, I have lots of questions. Like, the evidence list. Oh, lots of questions. I want to see lots of things. And lots of questions. But my biggest one was I found that the incident report was dated, timestamp for 1:40. It was called into 911. Since everything is saying 1:40, then I'm getting to one officer's account, and he brings up 1:15. I get a call at my residence at 1:15 that there was a domestic. I'm like, oh, he got a call at 1:15. How is he getting a call at 1:15 if it's not reported to 1:40? I look back at the evidence list, and there is evidence 31 and 32, lo and behold. Cassette copy 911 tape. Cassette copy 911 tape. That means there was 2 911 calls about this incident. What time was the first 911 call? Well, I can probably answer that with, pretty good, like, variation on time, because the officer answered it. He got a call at his residence at 1:15. So, if a person in my vicinity of neighbor hears a gunshot, 1 and 2, pop, pop, they get up, takes a minute, 2. So let's say that the incident happened between 1:05 and 1:15. So within those 10 minutes, between 1:05 and 1:15 was when it actually occurred. Because by 1:15, the cop is getting a call, and he's able to look at the phone. So that means already 911 the caller's already called 911, and 911's called people out. So I think it's sus because the one officer said that he got a call at 1:55 or 1:40. There's a 1:40 in there, there's a 1:55 in there, and then there's the 1:15. There are so many inconsistencies. But when I saw that there was two 911 calls, I was like, oh, bomb, boom, dropped. Okay, that was the first like aha moment when I had that the other night. I'm going further, and I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about this. I was like, all right, so if there is proof that there is two 911 calls, and one happened at 1:15 and one happened at 1:40, clearly the perpetrator did not make the first one. So I'm guessing that pretty sure that if I listen to it, his will be the 1:40. Who called at 1:15? First question. And what was he doing for the 25 minutes until he placed his call? Question mark. That is the blaring, outstanding question I want to know. I also want to know why he was never polygraphed. Pretty sure it's a no. We asked that question to some people. So I'm walking through all this with you guys real time yesterday, and I said out loud while I said it in jest to the reporter. She's a journalist. I keep calling her a reporter. She's a journalist. Miss Ashley K. I need to treat her with the respect that she has. Miss Ashley K. Thank you very much. I'm talking with her, chatting with her, and I'm like, she's asking me about my sister, and I'm like, I even said it in jest. I was like, she could be dead for all I know. I haven't heard from her. And like, I made my video. I dropped my video. I even said speculation warning, like, trying to be funny. I laid in bed last night for hours, and I've tried to think, have we heard from my sister? Has anybody heard from my sister? My sister is known to go quiet. It's been years I haven't heard from her. This isn't abnormal, but the timing seems totally sus, first. Totally. And second, like, throughout, like, since we reconnected, throughout these last, like, 5 years, she always talked to Dustin. And Dustin hasn't heard from her, as far as I know. We haven't heard from her since July of 2020, since she was supposed to have this confrontation call with her dad. But as far as I know, the cops haven't heard from her. She just disappeared. She never did this call. Now I'm like, where the fuck is my sister? Has anybody seen my sister? Her name is Christina Waslishin, literal. I don't even know if she's carrying her married name anymore, but she goes by Kay. I don't have a current picture out here. I just have one of her as a kid, but like, I'm actually kind of like concerned. Like, I laid in bed last night and I'm like, would he? He wouldn't, would he? But then again, like, you don't think that I never would have thought him capable of that. But you never know what people are capable of. She dressed up as Lily Munster that year, made her costume and everything. Look at, she even drew in the widow's peak. Oh, look at, you can see a photo too from this photo session. It's a different one, but you can see that, you can tell that she loved her. She loved her kids. She's not a person that's gonna off herself with her kids in the house. I mean, that is just so asinine. It's so asinine. And I know that they got away with it because they got money. My family didn't have any money, and his did. This is so simple and so plain as day. But as an adult, reading this 27 years later, I'm not letting money. Everybody has a right to live. Everybody has a right for justice. And now that I found YouTube on Popcorn Planet, Andy, Steph, Lewis, all you fucking awesome people, together, if I don't get justice, at least accountability. You know? Hold him accountable. I want to take him to court. I want to sue him. There's like 3 pictures. We don't know which one is one of the last ones taken ever. That was in April 93. She had just made that cake for a friend. I like somebody that's off themselves, planned on killing their boyfriend, so whatever he said. No, more logical. Think logically. It's 2021. Think logically. There's a gun. It's registered to the man. The woman doesn't like guns, doesn't want anything to do with guns. There's proof of that for everybody to talk. There's an unhappy relationship. There's an ex. There's proof from the ex that she was coming back to the ex. And then there's a dead victim. But the victim becomes the perpetrator all of a sudden in the eyes of the world. And the actual person that did this to her, to me, everybody knew her, has walked free for the last 28 years. Why? Because his family had a little bit of cheddar. Sickening, but you know what? Money doesn't rule the world anymore. Kind of does, but anybody with a camera and a story can be heard. And boy, if there's ever a case, I am that. She is that. We don't know if this is one of the last ones too, but that's some kind of famous artist I own up and still. I don't know who it is. Don't know who the redhead is either. Trying to figure that out. So if you know who that is, know who the redhead is in that picture, by all means contact me. Because there are several people in that case file that are quoted to be quite close to my mother that I have no clue. So I would love to do that and do some investigating in these people that are so close to my mother that are quoted in this case file. So that would be fabulous if you could touch base with me, you weird random people that say you knew my mother so well and slandered her name because you knew Russell too. I see what you were doing. Anybody that reads that case file can see that it's totally one-sided and victim blamed. It's disgusting. It's shameful. And I can't wait to tell my story and tell the world. And that's what I'm doing, literally. So, and off we go to the races. Today, I need to clean my house. I'm not working on this, I don't think, anymore today. I need to decompress because this is because I did write chapter 5 last night, so I'm actively working on the memoir because shit's happening in real time. So I'm picking up we got the reporter coming, journalist. Sorry, Miss Ashley. Anyway, what are you barking at? Anyway, I gotta clean my house. I gotta watch Andy today, Summer Wells, and guys, I will see you in the chat. I'll see you later. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. I'm getting this YouTube shit down.